In the far future, virtual reality takes a leap forward. No longer do you merely enter into the body of your hero avatar. You immerse into their mind as well. You don't simply look like Annie Oakley, you are Annie Oakley when your team enters the Worldspanner games. Worldspanner Factions is a unique blend of tactics, resource management, and adventure. It's storytelling without reading, min-maxing without limited combos, worker placement but your workers can be eaten. It's an advanced course on strategy and tactics, but you can be terrible at tactics and still enjoy yourself thoroughly. It's a contest where a druid, a princess, an alien, and 100 other heroes team up to make their mark on the world under your direction. Factions is both a competitive team game and an epic solo co-op campaign. It is also mod heaven, a game system designed to assimilate other universes, other genres, and other characters of your own crafting. To play the team game, build a beautiful map and split players into 2 teams. Recruit a company of heroes from across time, genre, and universe. Your heroes find favor with 9 faction houses by handling quests, from the humble labors of Green Vale to the rulership of Crown District and the diabolical plans of Dreadmark. Helpful heroes gain resources like gold, boosts, and equipment. Use these resources to your team's greatest benefit. But enemy heroes will be nearby, making life hazardous for your hard-working heroes. They may be armed, they may have nasty pets, or they might be terrifying all on their own. To play the campaign, you take on the role of coach over a professional team of athletes that compete in the Worldspanner games in the far future. Train up a new team of 12 athletes who immerse body and mind into the archetypal heroes of the arena. The new team is called Dropkick, and your employers have great hopes for its success. But can you as coach deliver? Take your team through a branching storyline with major after effects for every hard decision you must make. You are tested like a coach, managing a relationship with your employers, engaging with each athlete's personality, upholding team morale and cohesion, all the while trying to survive in the arena against a pile of uglies. Enjoy a deep progression model where your coaching, your relationships, and the skill of each athlete builds an effectiveness along multiple paths. And that's just the start of the 5-act epic that will take you and your athletes far beyond what you expected. There are 107 playable heroes, 42 brutal campaign foes, 108 useful treasures, each unique, and 37 interlocking map pieces in faction sets 1 through 3. Factions is the grand successor to Duel of Ages and Duel of Ages 2, winners of 29 board game awards.